know, that program we did it on IDLE, that is Integrated Development and Learning Environment. So today we are going to use IDE, that is Integrated Development Environment, not Learning Environment this time around. And the IDE that we are going to use a VS Code. And we know before, once you are having a VS Code on your system, the only thing is to set where we are going to store in those files or those programming files that you are going to use. And to use them, the path is simple. Just locate your user, locate your my data app. So my data, double click on it to open, locate local, then your programs, then you locate Python. You try to locate any of the folders within the Python, or you create another folder outside those Python professionally. That's how we at least create a folder for Python project. So once you're done, return back to your VS Code on the desktop or any location you can trace your VS Code, and then you have your VS Code open like this one that we are going to have here on the screen. So this is our VS Code welcome environment, though at least I've tried to minimize the size in order to fit our 9.16 ratio. So but it doesn't matter. But I will find time at least to see how I can be able to present a system layout of this VS Code in order to explain the features on the VS Code. But now let's have utilize these chances of having our Python for the first time on VS Code environment. So we are having our VS Code here. The only thing is to click on this open new file. So you now click on this Python program. You can, any of these you can be able to at least and then this one will take you to where you can be able to save your file. And you see, this is the location where I choose to save this file. So I will now tap on this to override this. So yes, I want to override. So I'm going to wait for output. Output is not yet out, so it's processing. So our output, so you've seen it now. We have hello world. So this is our hello world program. So this is the simple way you can print your Python hello world program as a beginner. So what we are going to do next, we know we are just having an overview, please, because all this is what we have done while we are dealing with our IDLE. So we know we are having the variables and then declarations, and we know our variables are containers in which you are going to store data into it. And this variable, we have what we call declaration and initialization, where you can be able to declare and initialize each variable with its own data type or with its own value and stored into that variable. So we are going to see how we can work with it and how we can be able to at least to manipulate and display those variables. And we also need to know that in Python programming language, we have the symbol for printing a statement, or a comment, sorry, for printing a comment, we use hash. So once you hashtag your comment or any statement you write there, so definitely your Python is going to mark it as what, as a comment. So we are going to try to see how we can have a variable called name, and we are going to assign a value called Bamanga. And we know our string mostly in all our data, in all our programming language, are going to be inside double quotes. So we have a name is equals to Bamanga. So that's what we are having. Then we said let's comment this as a hashtag. This is string. So we have the second one is age. Is age. Our age should be integer. Let's say 25. Our age is integer. This is integer. Anyhow, we've just seen how it works. Then we have what we call float. Float, and our float is going to be 7.1. That's we use decimal places in declaring integer values. So we have float values. So we are going to have a boolean. We said is student. We know boolean data type answer the questions of yes or no, true or false, and we are going to have true. So we are going to have true. So remember our Python is case sensitive. So print with small letters is different with print in capital letters. So this is a boolean values. So we are going to see, we have at least be able to declare and initialize this thing without any error. So even if we run this thing, we are going to have the same answer because it is not being used and it's not syntactically abused. So it follows the syntax. That is why the system did not prompt for syntax error. So we are going to utilize this and say maybe this is a string. This is a string. So let's say we are going to have a single quote here, and then we concatenate this output with a concatenation name. Are you together? So we are going to run this. Let's run it and see the output. So you see now it will now bring out this is string example. You see Bamanga after the quote, right? So so after the column there is Bamanga. So let's copy this out and do for the rest. So we have for the example of this is age. Are you together? Example of this so age. So integer, please. We are mixing things up. Integer example. This is float example. This is float example, and this is boolean example. So here age is used as the data type. Here we use float, right? We use float. Are we together? Is it float that we use or what? So we use float, exactly. So here we use is student underscore student. So let's try to run this, and definitely we are going to encounter an error if we run this. So if we run it, so it's going to be an error, flock of errors. So you see there is an error here, and it's syntactically, looking at it is going to be syntactically correct, but it abused the syntax. The reason why it abused the syntax is because you cannot combine integer. You cannot concatenate using that concatenation symbol of a plus sign. So you cannot concatenate this string with an integer value without specifying that you are using string inside that very function. So this is what we are going to do for the whole these three variables. So you need to include this string, then open and close bracket. So you do the same thing here, string, open and close bracket, and the same thing here, string, open and close bracket, and boom, this is what you are going to have. So no error this time around, I assure you. So you see now, this is at least we have been able to achieve this. This is a string example with Bamanga. This is integer 25. This is float 7. This is a boolean true. So at least we've seen how we will be able to achieve this. So what we are going to do now, we are going to at least have a rest point here. In our next class, we are going to continue from this place and see how we can be able to use input and output statement in Python. Remember, if you like this video, don't forget please to share our video, follow, and then comment on the comment section, please, if there is any gray area you want us to highlight more. And I promise you, this class is going to be the best class ever for Python, or in Python for beginners, because we are taking it right from the grassroots and from the to the hero level. And at the end of everything on this platform, you are going to be the best in Python programming language, because we are leading to the part of machine learning. This is where we are heading to, where we are going to be using libraries and just a lot of more in this our Python class. Thank you.